In hip-hop, some rappers get all the spotlight, and some stay in the shadows even when their skills are undeniable. AZ has been called one of the smoothest, sharpest lyricists to ever touch a mic, yet somehow, he's still one of the game's best-kept secrets. This is his story. AZ was born Anthony Cruz on March 9, 1972, in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn. He grew up in East New York, raised by his mom alongside his sister, and by age 12 he was already filling notebooks with rhymes. By the early 90s, AZ had linked up with a rising Queens MC named Nas. The two clicked instantly, sharing the same love for sharp lyricism and vivid street storytelling. In 1994, Nas dropped Illmatic, an album that would go down as one of the greatest in hip-hop history. Buried inside that masterpiece was one guest verse that stole the show, AZ on Life's a Bitch. AZ's verse was so razor sharp, so effortless, that it became one of the most quoted parts of the entire album. Many believe he even overshadowed Nas on that song, an unforgettable first step into the spotlight. And just like that, after Illmatic dropped in 1994, AZ went from neighborhood talent to one of the most talked about new voices in rap. EMI Records came calling, ready to give him his shot at a solo career. In 1995, he dropped his debut album Do or Die. It blended mafioso rap with poetic storytelling, showing the same high-level lyricism he displayed on Illmatic. The single Sugar Hill gave him some mainstream love. But it wasn't the hit machine success of other East Coast rappers at the time. In the late 90s, AZ joined forces with Nas, Foxy Brown, and Nature in The Firm. On paper, it was a supergroup ready to dominate, but label politics, high expectations, and mixed reviews kept it from living up to the hype. AZ went back to solo work, but in an era dominated by flashier personalities and bigger budgets, his subtle, polished style didn't always cut through to the masses, even though his pen was elite. Albums like Aziatic, Pieces of a Man, and The Format proved one thing: AZ's skill was consistent. His rhyme schemes were layered, his vocabulary sharp, his storytelling top tier. He never dumbed it down for radio. Even though AZ's albums never blew up to mainstream heights, his influence on hip-hop ran deep. Even though AZ doesn't always get brought up in mainstream conversations, anyone with deeper knowledge of hip-hop knows his name. In fact, early in Eminem's career, he was criticized for sounding too much like AZ, and if you listen to his early work, you can definitely hear that influence.
Hey yo, my pen and paper cause a chain reaction to get your brain relaxing. A zaniac, the maniac in action.
He kind of sounded a little more like AZ than what he ended up sounding like later.
Yeah, I'd agree. I would say that too.
AZ has also always been a quieter figure in the game, steering clear of beefs and drama, which meant he didn't generate the kind of headlines that keep an artist in the spotlight. Another challenge was the lack of consistent label support. Right after his debut album, EMI Records began to dissolve, and AZ was shuffled between different labels for years. That instability hurt his momentum. By 2005, he decided to take control of his own career, releasing music through his own imprint, Quiet Money Records. And he stuck with it ever since, continuing to put out projects through Quiet Money, building one of the most consistent discographies in hip-hop. AZ represents the kind of rapper other rappers study. He never relied on gimmicks, he stayed true to the craft. Some legends fill stadiums, others like AZ fill notebooks with rhymes that will outlast all the trends. In the end, the crown for most underappreciated might just be one of the rarest honors in hip-hop. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to support the channel, consider donating. Even $1 goes a long way. These videos take a lot of time to research and edit, so every bit of support is truly appreciated.